we have a slow-mo of your swing, which I love here because I think it gives us an opportunity to kind of talk about what you're thinking physically, whether it be in the cage or actually hitting in the game, or what you're trying to work on. What do you see like right now as to what your body to look like?
So I probably think like maybe 25% of the time about my actual swing, and then the rest of the time about pitch selection and kind of how they're going to throw me next. Because sometimes you can be a little predictable on the mound, and you're like, all right, this next pitch, just based off your last at bats or how
You know what's coming.
yeah, whether you know the pitcher or how the catcher likes to call games, or kind of how they pitch you in the past, whether it's last year or 2 years ago or the previous game,
Right.
depending on who you faced, you can be like, all right, this happened yesterday. He's probably going to throw another cutter in the same spot because I might have got out last time.
Right.
Or if I hit a homer, he's be like, all right, he's probably just going to go somewhere else. Or,
Right. So mentally thinking along with the
yeah, because I mean,
trends.
there's times where he has to throw a fastball up right here. Like if he doesn't, he's kind of not the best at choosing pitches. So I'm like, because then I'm just gonna get down for a fastball up, and then he throws it, and then I crush it.
right.
Obviously that doesn't happen every single time you step into the box.
You make it sound easy.
It
Make it sound easy.
It happens like randomly throughout the season.
Right.
You kind of just pick up on little things if you're paying attention. So, was this a homer or just a hit?
I think this was a hit, but I'm not 100%.
Okay. So basically, I just try and get in a good position, just with my legs and stance. I mean, my stuff changes all the time depending on how I'm doing.
Like stance wise, or like
A little bit of everything. Like if I'm struggling, like sometimes I'll try and just stand out here,
Open
or
up a
I'll
little
try and
bit.
like stand a little more closed, just to get some kind of feel back. But for the most part, I try and just get a little wide and get into my legs a little bit, because I notice if I'm, and it kind of takes a lot of effort just to do this every single day and every at bat. Because if you're a little lazy with it and you start standing up a little more, you can start like dragging your hips through, and now your bat's not coming through the straight path that you want.
right.
And you're gonna start dipping, and you're not gonna be able to
getting
get
to
to
certain
pitches.
pitches,
So I like to just get in my legs as best as possible, just because then your legs are in a strong position, firing. Your hips are in a good position, and everything's just ready to hit. Rather than if you're, I mean, like I said, everyone's a little different. Some people like to just stand here and go forward.
Yeah.
For me, I like to feel a little bit in my legs.
Like using the ground. Like
Yeah, so I just do basically a little crouch, and then I just sometimes I basically just sit here with my hands and just kind of get a little rhythm going. For the most part, I just think about my legs and just getting in that strong position.
good position.
And then swing wise, this year it was a lot of when I was going good, I basically focused on just keeping my back, like elbow, tucked to me as close as possible. So when I was swinging, everything was like close and connected.
Right.
Versus getting out here and now everything's away from me. I'm coming across the ball, or I'm
In and out of the zone.
going out. Yeah. And it was a little more like hit or miss on my swing. It was kind of all over the place. Which I knew if I basically, when I went forward, I just tucked this as hard as possible and kept it close to me. I was able to stay through the ball and not get disconnected or anything.
That keeps it simple for you, right? It's like, okay, let me get here. I don't have to think about too many other things.
Yeah. So basically, I was like, all right, get in the box, squat down a little bit, just get in your legs, use them, because you got to rotate, and you rotate quick, and a lot of your power can come from your legs.
Yeah.
So I try and just utilize it as much as possible, and because I'm not the biggest guy in the league, and I can't just launch homers whenever I feel like it, I try and do as much as I can to generate as much power as I can while staying connected and everything else. So I just try and squat here, and then when I load and lift, I try not to like go back a whole lot. I try and just do whatever's really natural that way with my load. And then when I go forward, I tried to keep my elbow as tucked close to me as possible because it was working, and I was able to stay inside the ball and through it.
That's awesome. Well, what it does is it simplifies it for you, I feel like, because a while ago, we are talking about Bautista. You're looking for one pitch, one spot. You had a lot of success. We looked at the spray chart. You're looking for one spot, and then you're just trying to get to one spot with your elbow. I think that simplifies a lot.
Yeah, because, I mean, every at-bat's a little different. Every person's a little different.
Right.
Some people like to just be like, oh, I'm just naturally good to try and hit it wherever it is. Like the Bautista at-bat, I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was just trying to see something in that location to hit. Some other at-bats, I'm like, all right, just lock in on the elbow. Or some at-bats, I'm like, all right, I need to use my legs a little more, get a little lower.
Right.
But I don't try to overcomplicate things, because then I'm like, well, like, I don't know what I'm doing at that point.
So I'm like, you're throwing too much. You just got too much going on.
I was like, I like to think I know a lot about hitting, and we have a lot of guys that know how to hit, and we can kind of talk through stuff on like the ins and outs on just hitting mechanics and stuff. But like Troy Snicker, our hitting coach, like if I'm struggling, I'm like, Snit, I'm wanting to like, just show me what to do and I'll do it. I was like, I'll mirror you, because like my swing kind of sucks right now. And if you like, obviously him being a hitting coach and, you know, a great friend of mine, he'll just go up there and like show me how to do something, and I'll be like, all right, done. And then I'll be getting into it. And because if you're struggling, like, you don't know if you're getting your elbow in close to you, because you're like, you're out here and you're like, I don't know.
You feel something, like. But you don't know what you're actually doing sometimes.
Yeah. So he's been, you know, pretty good with me on stuff like that, because I'm like, just show me what to do and I'll copy you. I'm like, I don't want to.
Visual person.
Yeah, I'm not big into like.
Let me just do what you showed me.
Yeah, I'm not big into like a ton of drills or something to get like a certain feel.
And some guys are.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, everyone's a little different. Some people like to do like soft toss from behind, or the
try to still feel closed.
Yeah, or like front toss, or, you know, some people like the machine in there. Everyone's a little different, and whatever helps them.
Yeah.
But I was like, just show me what to do, and I'll literally just copy your exact swing, just left-handed. And I was like, because I can't feel where my legs are at right now, or my elbow or whatever.
So you're not trying to feel a bunch of stuff in the drills. Just let me see what I have to duplicate, and let me do that.
Yeah. So I was like, I can sit here all day and hit your soft toss, and it'll be good. But like, I don't feel like that out in the game, because I don't know where my body's at.
Right.
And I mean, some people might think it's weird. It's like, you hit all day, you know where your hands are going or whatever. I'm like, I have no clue. Like, they're just going.
And that's real. Sometimes you feel like that. 162 games, like, and postseason, you're not always going to feel great.
Yeah, because sometimes, I mean, if you like to be squatted like this and you're hitting, and you feel like you're doing that, but you're actually standing up here, like, it could be completely different versus like when you're actually down here and you see it on video, like you're down, or like when you feel like you're tucked right here, but your hands are going out or something. Like, that's
the worst feeling, when you think you're doing something but you're not.
Yeah, because you're like, you're not connected at all, and you're like, I feel like I am, but I don't really know.
Right.
So I mean, everyone's a little different. Everyone likes to try different drills and stuff that works for them, which is great, because I mean, they're all professional hitters too, and they rake as well. So whatever they want to do.
What do you like to do in the cage specifically before we get to blitz ball?
I pretty much start out with tee. Just hitting off the tee, trying to just get a little loose and just hit line drives with the middle for a little bit, and just get in there and just take basically a couple swings.
Are you moving the tee around? Or are you just like, okay, let me just stay here, get loose?
It kind of depends. For the most part, I just put it in the middle and take like 10 swings or something. Just like a pitch down the middle. And I just sit there and 10 swings, and I just hang out and talk with Sned. And we have music going, and that's basically just a little warm up I try and do. And then I'll do some like front toss, and then, depending on how good I'm feeling throughout the year, like sometimes I just go and do like 3 swings off the tee and some soft toss, and I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Keep it simple.
And then sometimes
I'm sure that was most of the year, when you, or at least when you were just one spot.
I mean, if you're locked in, like I mean, the beginning of the year when I started off well, I was like, Snett, just throw me like 15 balls front toss and I'm good, because I know what to do.
Right.
I mean, at times throughout the year, if you're struggling or not feeling as great, you might
do something more.
You could. I mean, there's times where I hit like an hour or 2 in the cage. even after games, like if I'm not feeling good.
Wow.
I try and hit in the cage just to feel something for the next day, because I know if I don't, the next day I'm gonna show up and still feel the same.
The same thing.
So I just try and get the bad swings out as quick as possible. And,
Wow.
I mean, it's not always just gonna. It's not. I mean, it's not just gonna be a day where you're just like, all right, I'm not feeling good next day. All right,
Let's start
I'm back
doing
into it.
it,
Like,
yeah.
you could feel pretty bad for like a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're able to try and shorten that into like a week or like a couple days or something, or even an at bat, I mean, that could change your whole season.